Seated in the auditorium are families and friends who have in many different ways supported these candidates to reach the goal represented by this ceremony. And on the platform are the college faculty and staff who have motivated, encouraged, and inspired these students as they completed their coursework and their college experience. And before us are the candidates for graduation who have become good friends, mentors, colleagues, developing relationships that will serve them well as they move into the future together. We join then as members of an extended support network to celebrate our involvement with these candidates and to witness their accomplishment. That celebration now begins. Presiding over this commencement ceremony is the president of the Pennsylvania College of Technology, Dr. Davy Jane Gilmore.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the commencement exercises for the spring 2014 class at the Pennsylvania College of Technology. It makes me happy enough to say the word spring after the frigid, snowy, and altogether way too long winter. But there's another reason why today is special. Today's graduates have the distinction to be part of Penn College's Centennial Class, an illustrious group that represents 100 years of institutional success. In recognition of that milestone membership, each student was given a commemorative centennial pin as they robed today. Pins that we hope they will wear with pride when they prove that Degrees at Work is more than our marketing slogan. The occasion of our centennial has been an enjoyable time, an opportunity for us to celebrate long-standing connections, to form new ones, a moment for us to look back at what we have done and look ahead at the wondrous things that we are bound to accomplish. To put the 100th anniversary into perspective time-wise, let's look at a few notable things that happened in 1914. There was the start of World War I, of course. It was the first year that Mother's Day was observed as an official American holiday, and we are very honored to have so many proud moms in the audience with us today. It was the Major League debut of Babe Ruth, who, as some of you may not know, hit a home run during an exhibition game on our main campus here in Williamsport. It was the dawn of passenger airline service, a test run between the Florida cities of Tampa and St. Petersburg, a fact of possible interest to our aviation maintenance technology students and faculty. And in a high school classroom in a secluded corner of campus, the first adult students at what would become the Williamsport Technical Institute learned that the ability to work with their hands made them eminently more attractive to local employers. Like them, these soon-to-be graduates in front of me are a beautiful part of the Penn College history. And when the class of 2014 crosses the stage today and walks back through the lobby, they will become the latest chapter in our common story, a story that we tell with pride, a story 100 years in the making. It is to you, the students, that we now turn, joining your proud supporters in applauding your accomplishments. The student speaker today stands ready to represent them. The faculty mentors are on hand to enjoy their company, perhaps for one final time. And the rest of us just want to share in this singular moment of your life. Your triumph, after all, is our triumph. Your success is proof that we too have done our jobs well. So to the Centennial Class of 2014, I say this: sit back, relax, and enjoy this affirmation of our mutual achievement. And to your families and friends, those who have alternately been your cheerleaders, your sounding boards, your study partners, your ATMs, your confidants, your co-conspirators, and occasionally some bearers of tough love, we welcome you to this magnificent Community Arts Center and this most deserving celebration. Thank you.
I'd like to now introduce Mr. Elliot Strickland, Chief Student Affairs Officer.
President Gilmore, Senator Yaw, Provost Starkey, distinguished faculty and staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the May 2014 graduating class. It's my pleasure this morning to introduce your student commencement speaker. Ben Chappell is one of the most unassuming people you may ever meet. As I was writing this speech, I thought of the old adage that still waters run deep. However, that isn't entirely accurate. While Ben is about as deep as they come, what looks like still waters on the outside is really a tumultuous and churning level of involvement, hard work, and commitment to the most important things in his life just below the surface. I had the opportunity to interact with Ben for the first time when he was selected as the college's first commuter assistant. Ben lived with his pop for 2 years and commuted 40 minutes to Penn College from Liberty. His supervisor in that position, Katie Mackey, described him as an oasis for non-resident students through his unending helpfulness and good nature. He was even the star of an 8-minute video shown at the college's Connections orientation sessions, providing incoming students with tips on navigating their surroundings. That video was just one in a long line of media pieces that has led Ben to the almost de facto student face of Penn College. There was the One College Avenue feature story, Falling in Place, which details Ben's skateboard park project. Did I mention that he designed the skate park in Williamsport? What other college student gets a call from the mayor's office to design a centerpiece of the city's recreation program? Ben is also dedicated to much of his outside time and talent to contribute to the greater Williamsport community. He works with a local church, plays drums for the services. He started a high school outreach program, Young Life, all while being active in the college's Campus Crusade for Christ student organization. With all of this involvement, you almost forget that he was a stellar student inside of the classroom. In addition to his success academically, he was also a part of his department's peer mentor tutor student group, assisting students with their academic needs and providing guidance on adjusting to college life. As his nominators describe, Ben wears confidence as easily as he wears his trademark hats. Can't and won't seem to be missing from his vocabulary. Whatever the challenge and wherever he's needed, Ben embraces the opportunity with energy and passion. He combines an old school work ethic imparted by his grandfather with a hunger to embrace new technologies. It is those qualities that have led Ben to where he is today, and I know they will take him far into the future. Ben graduates today with a Bachelor of Science in Computer-Aided Product Design, summa cum laude, with a 3.95 GPA. If you do the math, that means he got 1B. Last night, Ben was awarded the Rose Stamen Memorial Award for brotherhood and service to the college. Please welcome your 2014 student commencement speaker, Mr. Benjamin M. Chappell.
I am overwhelmingly honored and humbled to be representing what is probably one of the biggest classes, graduating classes in some time. I honestly never imagined that I would be this person on stage right now. And I never pictured this day, what it would even look like. And in reflecting on that, I actually had an idea, what if I could literally picture this moment? So if you don't mind, class of 2014, I'd like to grab a quick selfie with you. When I look at that later on, I'll be able to remind myself that this actually did happen. Now, to begin, I would be remiss to not, first of all, honestly thank God for this day. I know that the sum total of all my hard work pales in comparison to his immeasurable provision and grace that has gotten me here. Elliot, if I may. It has been an honor getting to know you and even working with you over these years. Thank you for that kind introduction. To all the fathers and mothers, grandparents, friends and family and siblings, all of you who have supported every one of us here graduating, I want to thank you. Your encouragement and your support is beyond the thanks that I can even begin to articulate. Simply, I can just say thank you. So thank you. To all the faculty and staff who I unfortunately do not have time to thank individually, thank you for making Pennsylvania College of Technology the quality institution of higher education that it is, and the great point of pride that it is for all of us here today. Peers, I can't believe we're here. Honestly, after 4 years of practically never leaving the Cal building, I can humbly say that I still am not sure of the layout of that place. What I have learned, and I know I will not forget though, I would like to share with you this morning. First of all, remember to just set it and forget it. If you do something right, save it. Even if you do something wrong, save it. Just don't neglect to keep saving your work. And do not ever forget where your motivation comes from. Correct me if I'm wrong, Quality 101 students, but I believe it has something to do with a custom Harley Davidson and a tassely leather jacket. Oh, what was I going to say next? That's right. And seriously though, do not forget that when you leave here today, you leave with a degree that works. Not some magic ticket to success, but more of a reminder that you have what it takes. You worked hard to be here today. Why? Because you're passionate about your careers. You learned to do what you love in a professional way that you can now go make a living out of. For every time you were called a foul ball or a big dummy, you worked hard to be here today. So when you leave this place with your degree that works, go, use it, and enjoy your work. Don't take for granted the fruits of your labor, and appreciate your accomplishments. Leave here and enter your career with the confidence, the knowledge, and the influence that your degree credits you with, because you know you have it, and I know you have it, because you made it here today. None of us are ignorant. We know that as we enter the imaginary real world, it's not going to be like the last 2 to 4 years of our lives. There's no more syllabi, no more course curriculum, no more spring break or summer vacation, no more skipping class and getting the notes from a friend, and consequently, no more staying up all night to master every drinking game you know. But in 50 years from now, when you're retired, you're sitting on your couch watching the Outdoor Channel, you're sipping a warm Pabst Blue Ribbon, I hope you can look back over these years with joy. I hope you can look back over your career and be proud of all your accomplishments. And I hope you can look back at this day, Penn College proud, and say with confidence, my degree worked. I know I will. So with that, congratulations, Pennsylvania College of Technology, class of 2014.
Now, Ben set the stage and stole a little bit of my thunder, but he knew I was going to say this. This is your celebration, so I hope his is not the only cell phone I see today. We want you to be tweeting about it, taking selfies, posting Instagrams. This is your day. We're not stuffy here, and do not put away your cell phones or turning them down might be a good idea, but don't turn them off. Because we want to hear about your day at hashtag PCT Grad. Thank you. For those of you that don't know, this is the second of 3 commencement ceremonies this weekend. And in addition to celebrating the amazing class of 2014, our centennial class, we take time to honor a select group of faculty and alumni. Yesterday afternoon, we presented the Mentorship Award to Lee D. Michaels, a 2011 graduate in construction management and a passionate advocate for Penn College. We also honored excellence in teaching with an award to Peter B. Krupenbacher, an assistant professor in building construction technology. This afternoon, we will present the Distinguished Alumna Award to Carol Savoy, a 1973 graduate with commendable community service, including substantial and ongoing scholarship assistance to many Penn College students. And we will present the second Excellence in Teaching Award, as well as the Veronica M. Music Master Teacher Award at this afternoon's ceremony. So please join me in recognizing these exemplary members of the Penn College faculty and alumni community, and I encourage you to visit PCT today, later this weekend, for more about this year's honorees. Congratulations to them all.
Ladies and gentlemen, as many of you know, the legal corporate body of the Pennsylvania College of Technology is its board of directors. This is the body that, by our charter, is given the final responsibility for the governance, welfare, and all other interests pertaining to the college. Though some responsibilities are delegated, ultimate authority rests with the board. At this time, I would like to call upon Senator Jean Yaw, chair of the board of directors, to authorize the conferring of degrees at this ceremony. Senator Yaw.
This is a very special occasion for all of you. The degrees being awarded have come from hard work, from guidance and wisdom of the faculty, and from strong support from your family and friends. On behalf of the Board of Directors, I extend to all of the graduates our congratulations and best wishes, and to all of the supporting family members, the faculty and friends, I extend our thanks for your support. Now, I turn to my official duty. Dr. Gilmore, by virtue of the authority vested in the Board of Directors of the Pennsylvania College of Technology, I authorize you, on behalf of the board, to confer on each of these candidates the degree earned as certified by the appropriate school dean.
Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree please rise? Dr. Gilmore, upon recommendation of the faculty, I'm very pleased to inform you that these men and women have satisfactorily completed the requirements for the Bachelor of Science degree.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors of the Pennsylvania College of Technology, I do hereby confer upon you the Bachelor of Science degrees that you have earned with all of the rights and privileges, and with congratulations from the faculty, the Board of Directors, and the administration. Congratulations.
You may be seated. Will the candidates for all associate degrees and certificates please rise? Dr. Gilmore, upon recommendation of the faculty, I'm very pleased to inform you that these women and men have satisfactorily completed the requirements for their respective associate degrees and certificates.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors of the Pennsylvania College of Technology, I do hereby confer upon you the associate degree and certificates which you have earned, with all of the rights and privileges, and with our sincere congratulations from the Board of Directors, the faculty, and the administration. Congratulations. Please remain standing, and would the baccalaureate graduates please stand up? Ladies and gentlemen, you entered the theater today as candidates for the certificates and degrees that you have earned. Just moments ago, I had the honor of conferring those degrees upon you. As a symbol of your entry into the world of educated men and women, I ask you to join me as I turn the graduation tassel of your class representative. This, in fact, symbolizes to the world that you are, in fact, now graduates of the Pennsylvania College of Technology. Congratulations. You may be seated. As individuals and institutions, we all pass through clear stages of development, points in time when we grow in new roles and new responsibilities. This ceremony is a transition event for all of our graduates. Today, we will recognize individuals with academic honors. Outstanding academic achievement will be recognized for all students. The gold, silver, or white cords worn today during these ceremonies will identify the students for you. White is for honors, silver is for high honors, and gold is for highest honors. Blue cords will signify academic achievement for certificate students. In addition, we're proud to recognize the graduates of Phi Theta Kappa, and their gold stoles and gold tassels will identify them. We also recognize with pride the graduates of the Alpha Chi Honor Society, and white stoles will identify those students. We would now like to recognize our veteran students, identified by their red, white, and blue cords, including those who have served on active duty, as well as those who are currently serving in all branches of the military. Will our veteran students in the graduating class please rise? If you'll remain standing, I'd like to tell you a little bit about all the veteran students at Penn College. 6 of them have earned a Purple Heart, 9 of them have earned Bronze Stars, 79 of them have earned Iraq campaign medals, and 50 of them have earned Afghanistan campaign medals. We are very proud of our veteran students at Penn College. Thank you. You may be seated. You should know, veterans, you had a great standing ovation from the balcony. You couldn't see them, but I could. On a more serious note, many of you, I'm sure, paused this morning in the midst of this celebration to remember absent friends and relatives who cannot be here to share the joy of your accomplishment. We feel such a loss in our college family as well when we occasionally, all too often in fact, are robbed of students' potential before they get to cross this stage in triumph. 2 such students are being posthumously awarded degrees in their respective majors within the School of Transportation and Natural Resources Technology. The first student is Paul Smino, who came to us from Montville, New Jersey. He came to enroll in our automotive program. He passed away in February, but we honor him today with a certificate as an automotive service technician. We hope that this affirmation of Paul's academic work will bring comfort to his family, who I ask to now join me on stage. Paul is with us today.
I'm very proud to be here today for my son, Paul. Thank you.
The second posthumous degree today is being presented to the family of Charles Kane. Chuck, as we know him, from Newtown, was a sophomore at the Earth Science Center when he was taken from us in March. Please acknowledge this reflection of his accomplishment as his family proudly accepts an Associate of Applied Science degree in diesel technology.
On behalf of our family, we would like to thank the Pennsylvania College of Technology for acknowledging Chucky's efforts and wish all of his friends here at Penn College luck in the future. Thank you.
At this time, Carolyn Strickland, the Assistant Vice President of Academic Services, and the respective school representatives will present the candidates for today's ceremony. We know that you want to capture this moment on film, on a phone, on digital, however you want to capture it. And so we simply are welcoming you down to do that. We ask that you keep the area in front of the official photographers open so they can do their work. And with that, our ceremony begins. Thank you.
President Gilmore, it is my honor today at this, our centennial celebration graduation, to present to you the graduates of Information Technology with majors in networking, programming, information assurance and security, and technical support in the School of Industrial Computing and Engineering Technologies.
Thank you.
Kyle W. Ernest. Michael Andrew Hamilton. Jessica M. Kurtz. Donald Edward McCoy. John N. Pearson. Nicholas Anthony Rapella. Jacob F. Robinson. Caton Mark Wiesner. Cody Allen Amos. Charles Scott Austin. Joseph W. Borgart. Barry A. Feeden. Trey S. Gibbs. Taylor Renee Lapointe. Dylan M. Thomas. Dionysius Demetrius Tamboris. Nevin F. Elder. Nevin John Raup. Kevin Foster Beaver. Marcus Gabriel Von Buda. Daniel Robert Dietz.
President Gilmore, I am proud to present the graduates of Computer-Aided Product Design, Engineering Design Technology, and Computer-Aided Drafting Technology, all within the School of Industrial, Computing, and Engineering Technologies.
Thank you.
Andrew Mark Barshinger. Zachary Allen Critchfield. Frank J. Feta. Luke A. Ferrara. Brian Lee Hockenberry. Matthew M. Riley. Ryan Derek Roth. Daniel Blair Smith. Daniel J. Danowski. David J. Danowski. Rachel E. Heller. Nicholas Alasia Lazier. Scott Andrew Bidding. Alex P. Fair.
President Gilmore, I present the graduates of Building Automation Technology, Building Automation Technology HVAC Concentration, Electrical Technology, Electrical Mechanical Maintenance Technology, Renewable Energy Technologies, and Electrical Occupations, all within the School of Industrial Computing Engineering Technologies.
Thank you. Frank Vito Albano. Lee Edward Anderson. John P. Bailey. Cody Everett Buterbaugh. Graduating within the School of Business and Hospitality with a degree in accounting is Zachary Buterbaugh. Eric John Detweiler. Raymond J. Finland II.
Thank you. Thank you.
David C. Harmon. Paul T. Jordan. Eric Ronald Kaminsky. Kyle Jeffrey King. Michael Edward Kowalenko, Jr. Jonathan Andrew Norton. John Paul Schimmel. Aaron M. Silfies. Joshua Duane Soya. Anthony Guy Weldon. Caleb Michael Wise. Scott D. Hubler. Sean Thomas Nisley. Dalton James Coons. Elizabeth Ann Mattis. Joshua Eric Nelson. Travis John Voronsky. Zachary Richard Zoltowski. Benjamin D. Aronoff. Logan Roland Eaton. Nathan Darrell Black. Ross J. Brandel. John Wesley Marshall. Danielle Francis Tabolinski. Jared M. Blair. Andrew E. Lynn.
President Gilmore, I present the graduates of Electronics and Computer Engineering Technology Bachelor's, Electronics and Computer Engineering Technology Associates, Electronics and Computer Engineering Emphasis, Robotics and Automation Emphasis within the School of Industrial Computing and Engineering Technologies.
Thank you. Silas Narendra Chance. Bradley Michael Kaboski. Kyle G. Mason. Gregory John Moheran. Patrick James Reed. Daniel Richard Sullivan. Douglas L. Weber. Joshua I. Bobenreith. Alan Walter Huckle. Benjamin Carl Raymeyer. Ross D. Schulteith.
President Gilmore, I present the graduates of Manufacturing Engineering Technology, Machine Tool Technology, Machinist General within the School of Industrial Computing and Engineering Technologies.
Thank you. Derek Lee Anderson. Devlin K. Burke. Calvin Dempsey Farron. Samuel Lee Fritz. Matthew Dillon Johnson. Jeremiah John Justafin. John Patrick Koklinski. Michael Douglas Reese. Nicholas Michael Rumble. Timothy Robert Russey. Kenneth L. Schaefer. Matthew David Shoup. Trey C. Wagner. Anthony Robert Yanishek. Nathaniel B. Fields. Benjamin John Gregory. Nathaniel W. Mills.
President Gilmore, it is my honor to present the centennial graduates of Plastics and Polymer Engineering Technology within the School of Industrial, Computer, and Engineering Technologies.
Thank you. Olivia R. Beaver. Andrew B. Eshelman. Elliot Wilcox Jones. Tamara R. Rader. Samuel Schulte.
President Gilmore, it is with great honor that I present to you the 2014 graduates of the Welding and Fabrication Engineering Technology and Welding Technology within the School of Industrial Computing and Engineering Technologies.
Thank you.
Jared James Askren.
Get some!
Kenneth D. Carlisle. Daniel William Egler. Joshua Brian Harold. Patrick Hughes. Catherine Elizabeth Kiefer. Brett M. Nyman. William Russell Snidak. Troy C. Weimer. Joseph Richard Wenches, Jr. Kyle W. Wood. Jeremy Andrew Yoho. Eric C. Anderson. Kyle D. Bear. Logan Thomas Bechtel. Stephen G. Brookbank, Jr. Sean M. Givler. Andrew Roy Hatch. Kane Michael Krolick. Joshua T. Marvin. Cheston Tommen McCanich. Frank Manella. Grady A. Niedrich. Matthew K. Stallnecker.
President Gilmore, I present the graduates of Automotive Technology Management, Automotive Technology Ford Asset Emphasis, Automotive Technology Honda PAC Emphasis, Automotive Service Technician, all within the School of Transportation and Natural Resources Technologies.
Thank you.
Matthew T. By the way. John W. Harold, Jr. Angela S. Ackers. Eduardo Elias Nelson Bendeck Acevedo. Eduardo Elias Nelson Bendeck Acevedo. Mark William Campbell. Philip R. Carnevale. Justin Zachary Kreider. Sean C. Doyle. Kenny Eugene. Ethan M. Harwell. Emmett A. Hegney. Robert Marchesny. Patrick Stewart McTagg. Gregory Paul Neely. Kent Aaron Williams. John A. Gandolfo. Marcos A. Mavrakis. John Tyler May. Adam D. Mowry. Colby D. Sherman. Austin Dean Vada. Kevin Michael Woodall. Evan D. Baum. Daniel S. Bonato. Bradley Adam Boggs. Vincent J. Falcone. Connor T. Fitzsimmons. Tyler J. Fry.
Correct, yes.
Eric Norman Klinikowski. Matthew G. Lapp. Christopher Scott Rogers. James Adrian Trotter. Justin S. Williams. Leroy G. Barrage III. Matthew Allen Kobe. Matthew Anthony D'Onofrio. Matthew J. Horner. Brad Barron Hostler. Ryan Matthew Killowind. Ryan T. McDonald. Carl Joseph Reynolds. Zachary D. Warner. Odrin DeTrey Polk.
President Gilmore, I present the graduates of Aviation Maintenance Technology and Aviation Technology within the School of Transportation and Natural Resources Technologies.
Mark Tyler Kaler. Edward Stephen Knife. Stephen Samuel Malott. Christopher S. Morrison. Brian Ramos. Marcus T. Ruck. Rameshwar Singh. Andrew Lee Stamey. Max K. One-Shock. Aaron C. Euler.
President Gilmore, I present to you the graduates of Automotive Restoration Technology, Collision Repair Technology within the School of Transportation and Natural Resources Technology.
Daniel S. Bishop. Cameron Sicione. Dana L. Jean. Ryan Jeffrey Levesque. Jacob Lewis Bennett. Victoria Eugenia Castano. Crary the fourth. Walter Lewis Crary the fourth. Derek Rock. Derek M. Groff. Thomas Joseph Hall. Mason C. Hammond. Nathan J. Hooper. Zachary John Lloyd. Matthew M. Norton. Kenneth C. Pastore. Kyle C. Rook.
President Gilmore, I present the graduates of Heavy Construction Equipment Technology, Caterpillar Emphasis, Operator Emphasis, Technician Emphasis, Diesel Technology, Electric Power Generation Technology, On-Site Power Generation, and Diesel Technician within the School of Transportation and Natural Resource Technologies.
Thank you. McCory D. Button. Nicholas Allen D. Pemetier. James Anthony Geronicus. Kyle J. Hendrickson. Christopher R. Klinger. Curtis Christopher Mackus. Jonathan P. Neidig. Leo Gild Paliorani. Colin Michael Peterson. Phelan. Sean C. Phelan. Caden Charles Smith. Paul S. Wagner. Aaron Bennett Zimmerman.
The last name is Jacoboni.
Hunter Thomas Jacoboni. Christopher Kenneth Leonard. Devin J. Pennycoff. Anthony B. Reese. Matthew J. Testagross. Rebecca Christine Ziegler. Nicholas Shea Auker. Patrick Ryan Brennan. Joshua Lee Carmen. Dakota James Grievish. Christopher E. Hughes. Brandon P. Linton. Anthony Lewis Patain. Colton James Salter. Adam Mark Schaefer. Shane Michael Weilman. Chad Michael Austin. Joshua Daniel Belzer. Joseph A. Champlavier. Eric Douglas Esperson. Christopher Lee Hammer. Brandon M. Hess. Ryan William Miller. Robert Scott Sipe II. Justin Glenn Smith. Kadeem M. Brown. Cameron Michael Brown. Evan Ellefson. Mackenzie Jared Hefner. Tony Kane. Gary John Murdoch, Jr. Zachary M. Wasilis. Cody Dade Criley.
Thank you.
President Gilmore, I present the graduates of Forest Technology within the School of Transportation and Natural Resources Technologies.
Thank you. Jason Allen Greenfield. Brandon J. Novakoski. Nathan Carl Peischer. Rachel Amanda Schaefer. Chad William Vermelia. Jake Allen Whitehead.
President Gilmore, I present the graduates of Landscape Horticulture Technology, Landscape Emphasis, Plant Production Emphasis, Ornamental Horticulture, Landscape Technology Emphasis within the School of Transportation and Natural Resources Technologies.
Tyler J. Fatzinger. Nicholas D. Foreman. Morgan Emily Lawton. Nathan Andrew Regan. Caleb George Shermer. Rachel Aaron Stafford. Jonathan L. Rischel. Evan A. Engdahl. Graduating with a bachelor degree in HVAC in the School of Construction and Design Technologies is Kenyatta Ntambo Garvey. And Benjamin Michael Chappelle.
Your connection to Penn College does not end today. As graduates, you're now members of the Penn College Alumni Association, and that is the link between you and your alma mater. I really encourage you to keep in touch with the Alumni Relations Office. You will hear from them monthly via their e-newsletter, as well as, of course, through Facebook. What else? I look forward to welcoming you back to campus at future alumni events and activities, so please make sure to keep your contact information up to date so we can know just how well you're doing. In about 6 months, you're going to watch for a graduate survey. It's an important piece of data for us to gather, and your support will be very helpful. And I want to thank you in advance for your assistance. Now, we're very close to the end of our ceremony, and it's my pleasure as president to get to be the last person to talk to you today on behalf of everyone who has participated in your college career. So for just a few minutes, and I won't talk very long, I'd like you to pretend that we're here alone together so I can share a few words with you. Ironically, there's a nice set of prepared remarks here, but I'm going to do something that the people behind me and beside me know I rarely do, and that is I'm not going to follow this script, because something happened during today's ceremony that reminded me of something I want to say. This is my 37th year at Penn College. Just let's say I came very young. And I started as a teacher. It is my true love in life and something that I don't get to do very often anymore. A few years ago, though, I took a big leap after some 30-plus years out of the classroom, and I taught an FYE class. One of my students walked across stage today, and I won't tell you who he is to not embarrass either one of us. But he reminded me of something that happened in that class that really grounds us and really speaks to what Penn College is all about. I approached teaching that class with a great deal of trepidation. It wasn't my subject matter, dental hygiene. It was something new, and I had to do a lot of preparation and hard work. And that probably sounds familiar with what you had to do throughout your time in your education. I made up my mind that I wasn't going to tell those students that I was the president, because I didn't want them to be nervous. So I gave them my syllabus, and I put my name on it and my office number, but I never, ever said that I was the president. As you well know, one of the FYE experiences at that time was to meet the president. It was a dessert social outing that I'm sure everybody was thrilled to do, except for the free food part, among other things. And so I was reminding my class that they needed to go to the Meet the President night, which I think was a Thursday, and our class was on a Wednesday. And this very quiet young man sat in the front row, for which I was grateful because not everybody wanted to sit in the front row, looked at me, and he said, "Why do we have to go to meet the president?" And I said, "Well, you know, it's a really important part of what we do, and we're trying to make you feel comfortable on campus." And he very casually looked up at me and he said, "We meet the president at every class." So here my big secret was out, and I looked at him and I said, "How did you know I was the president?" I was crestfallen. I thought I had kept this a great secret. And now he's blushing in the audience. I know he is. And he said to me, "You're in the guidebook." So I learned a very valuable lesson that day. They do really read the guidebook. Seeing him walk across the stage today means a lot. It means a lot because it reminds me what these people behind me do every day and how they've touched your lives. And so back to my honor to be the last person to speak with you today. You will never know how you've touched us. You will never know what you've done for us, and we only hope that we've done some measure for all of you. Now, at the end of my prepared remarks, I'm supposed to say to you, the last word is quite simple, and the end is near, and everybody likes to hear that. The last words I have to say to you today are truly from the heart. We offer you our congratulations, and the most important thing we ask you to do is to go out in the world and make us Penn College proud. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Gilmore. I invite those who are able to stand. For gentlemen, remove your caps, and everyone to join in the singing of the Penn College alma mater. The words can be found on page 2 of your program. Please stand. You know the words, right, Judge? Sure. All right, I'm going to let you kick us off here. Nestled in our mountains fair, on the Susquehanna, stands our beacon shining through, alma mater gray and blue. As the years continue on,